TNB's third quarter net profit came in 15% lower due to an increase in deferred tax expenses. Earnings came in at 1.96 billion ringgit from 2.31 billion a year earlier. It said that its deferred taxation expense had spiked to 400 million ringgit from 22.1 million last year. This was due to higher asset capitalization over its 2016 and 2017 financial years that was recognized in the quarter. On the flip side, revenue was up 3.47% to 12.55 billion ringgit from 12.13 billion. This was a result of an under-recoverability in costs of the imbalanced cost pass-through during the current period. Going forward, TNB expects unit electricity demand to grow in line with the projected GDP growth for the year, which had recently been upgraded by the IMF from 4.4% to 4.8%. But it remains cautious on the group's outlook for the year ending August 31st, 2017, given the prospect of volatility in the global commodity and energy prices. Felda Global Ventures Holdings wants to make itself a more attractive employment option for locals, especially new generation settlers. This, as it aims to reduce dependency on foreign workers. FGV Officer in Charge Khairil Anwar Aziz says the group is highly dependent on foreign labour with more than 35,000 foreign employees across the country. In fact, it is in need of more workers to ensure daily operations run smoothly. Khairil, who is also a Felda settler's son, admits that it would not be easy to change the new generation's negative perception towards a career in plantation. Hence, he says that FGV will continue in its efforts to increase local involvement in the plantation sector by improving its career development packages. He says FGV will also offer jobs for the new generation of settlers who are keen to join uniform units via its subsidiary Felda Security Services. Opposition MP Tony Pua is questioning the purported existence of a third undocumented letter of support for 1MDB to obtain a loan worth nearly $1 billion. PM Najib Razak had previously confirmed the existence of two letters of support for 1MDB to obtain loans worth $3 billion in 2013 and $150 million in 2015. However, Tony Pua says that the US DOJ suit has revealed another support letter in 2014 for a $975 million loan from Deutsche Bank. Quoting the suit, Pua says that the bank's internal records reflect that 1MDB officials opted to provide a letter of support signed by Malaysian official 1 rather than some form of guarantee by 1MDB. He says this is partly because the letter of support did not require Bank Negara or Cabinet approval. He claims that this further raises the question as to whether the letter had been issued without the Cabinet's approval or the knowledge of the Finance Ministry. Five Malaysian firms have made it to Forbes Asia's annual Best Under a Billion list. They are Elsoft Research, Kerjaya Prospect Group, MyEG Service, Pentamaster Corp, and Vitrox Corp. The Best Under a Billion list highlights 200 listed companies in the Asia-Pacific region with annual revenue between $5 million and $1 billion. Forbes Asia says all firms that made the cut produced a higher sales and earnings per share growth for both the most recent 1- and 3-year periods and the strongest 5-year average return on equity. China featured the highest number of companies this year with 70 firms, followed by Japan 38 firms and Taiwan 30. While it's heartening to see the better showing by some nations, especially Japan, Forbes Asia editor Tim Ferguson says the continuous scarce presence of companies from Southeast Asia should give pause to everyone there, capital markets, entrepreneurs, and those who count on future job creation. CIMB Group Holdings Chairman Nazir Razak had on Tuesday dealt in 5 million CIMB shares at 6.3455 ringgit each. The transaction is valued at 31.73 million ringgit. According to the announcement on Bursa Malaysia, CIMB said that Nazir had yesterday informed the company on the transaction outside the group's closed period. The 5 million shares sold constituted a 0.05% stake in the company. CIMB shares have been on a tear over the past couple of months, reaching a high of 6.76 ringgit in mid-June. CIMB stock ended the day 3% up at 6.59 ringgit.